Hi, Corey Atwood here from Bagogames.com, and I'm here at the Boston Festival of Indie Games. I'm here speaking with
Solomon Litzy from Idle Action Studios.
And Idle Action Studios. How big is your is the company right now?
So we're 6 people. We're all working on the game outside of full-time jobs. So we've got 3 artists, 2 devs, and a music person. And we are as local as Arlington and Cambridge and as distant as China.
Oh, so that's quite a wide spectrum on the globe for your tiny team.
A lot of Google Hangouts, yes.
Oh, I imagine so. All right, so what are you guys showing off today here at the festival?
So our game is called Candlelight, and it's a 2D puzzle platformer that requires you to control 2 characters at once and use their abilities to progress through the environment by separating them and reuniting them.
Yeah, we just sat down with it a little while ago, got some hands-on time with it. Immediately, what drew me to the game is it definitely artistically looks a lot like a Limbo, or that's what got my attention initially. But the more that I played it, it seemed more like a Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons.
So I played Limbo. I haven't actually played Brothers yet. I think that there's a lot of games where we have about one element in common with them. So Limbo, it is visually quite similar. We're going for more of a shadow puppet aesthetic. Brothers, I think probably, it seems to me that the only similarity is the controlling 2 characters. We're really trying to play up the differences between the characters and their different abilities. So hopefully that'll help us stand out a little bit as we move towards release.
All right, so tell me about the game overall. It's a 2D side-scrolling puzzler, but there's 2 characters, and it's only a single-player game, right?
Right. So the game is single-player. You control 1 character with the WASD keys and 1 character with the arrow keys, and you will be. Each of them have different abilities. So one of the characters is able to reveal a different environment. So he'll illuminate some platforms or open up a corridor, but at the same hand, he might, show some spikes that weren't there before or cause a gate to appear that wasn't there. So the other character, who is much more mobile and nimble and can jump higher and flip levers and push blocks, she'll be moving around outside of his limitations to help him progress in places where he wouldn't otherwise be able to.
So how's the feedback been from the crowd so far?
Feedback's been awesome. There's been a lot of really positive reaction to the mechanics. A lot of people love the split screen. We have a dynamic split screen that sort of follows the characters and tries to keep their relative positions to one another clear. So if one's above and to the right of the other, the split screen will take that character above and to the right. That's been well received. The art's been really well received. Everyone seems to really like the visuals. So yeah, it's been really nice getting that affirmation and reminding us that we've got a really good game to make, and a lot of people would be really looking forward to it.
It did seem really seamless the way the screen would just split, almost like a la comic book panel, like immediately. And at all times, I felt like I knew where the characters was. How far apart can they get during the game?
So right now, their distance from each other is limited just by level design, and we try to incentivize keeping them together just by how the puzzles are constructed. So it's either hard to split them up or not desirable. One thing we've been thinking of implementing is more serious mechanics to keep them together. So one thing is, because the girl character doesn't have a light, the male character carries the lantern. We would have the light we'd have the light around the girl shrink, so her range of vision would actually decrease as she got further away or as she spent more time away from the light. So over time, she would be able to see very little, and she'd actually be quite hard to control. So that would incentivize reuniting her with the male character.
What is the narrative for the game?
To the extent that there's metaphor and narrative, we'd sort of envisioned each one of the characters as sort of being about perception. So the boy's powers are all about what he can see, and performing. So the girl's powers are all about what she can do. So we really wanted, her powers are much more about being able to become stronger. We've been thinking about adding items that would make each of them more powerful, and an item would have a different function depending on who held it. So one item we've been experimenting with the girl allows her to do a standing jump that's triple her normal height, so she can really reach platforms that are way out of reach for most of the time. But when the boy holds the item, everything in the circle of his lantern has inverted gravity. So the girl can walk on the ceiling or push blocks along the ceiling or avoid traps that way.
How far would you say that this build that you're showing off is from what you want the end build to be?
So that level looks a lot like what we want a final level to look like. We're going to see what we can clean up in terms of art and stuff. Our art and our development are a little bit separated, so we don't really have someone who knows too well like how to mesh those things. So we haven't quite explored everything that's possible. But that level is maybe, we probably want the game to have a number of levels that are about that polished. And over the last year, we were trying to come up with what a finished product looked like. And now we know, okay, it kind of looks like that, and now we've got the tools to really produce a lot of levels that look like that. So we expect production will pick up a lot after the show.
You guys self-publishing?
We don't know yet. So basically our goal is to get the game out there. If we can publish through Steam, awesome. If we can publish through any indie sites, awesome. If we have to put the build on our website to get people to download it and do it ourselves, we'll do that. Like, we just want people to play it.
And now you mentioned Steam. Are there any other platforms you guys are planning it for?
I know we haven't actually planned for anything else. I mean, it'd be awesome to get a Humble Bundle or something at some point. We don't know about consoles. Mobile, I'm willing to say now, is not strictly likely. We might do something for iPad, but really with 2 characters moving, it's kind of hard to just get the controls and the visuals all fit on the screen at once. Even if it's a visually quite simple game, it does take up a lot of screen space, and we need that to really understand what you're looking at. And we also just want those visuals to come across because they are really beautiful.
You guys have an estimated release date?
Not yet. Kind of depends on what people like. Hopefully sometime end of 2014 or early 2015, but we're still working on it and trying to see what people want.
All right, awesome. I look forward to seeing the final bill. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out here and supporting all these great indies.
Well, thank you for showing up and letting us play these games.